Oh, so your ad stopped working? Don't worry, I got you covered. It happens to me all the time. And in this video, I'm just gonna give you one framework that hopefully will give you a long-term solution to all the issues you're facing with your ads. So make sure you stick to the end, because I believe that if you understand this framework, you'll be able to solve all the issues with your Facebook ads, and you'll know where is the problem and you'll know how to solve it. Also, this solution will work for any paid advertising platform, because I'm gonna give you some fundamentals that work no matter what is the advertising platform. So if you're running ads on Google or YouTube, this will also work. And this framework is very cool. I found this framework after a lot of trial and error, and I'm gonna share the story how I got this framework, because I believe it's like super important. So I was fresh out of university. I did a law degree in university actually, and I just wanted to find a super cool job. And I tried sales, I tried accounting, I tried like some other low paid jobs, but nothing worked for me. I went to visit a friend of mine in the Netherlands, and I had this idea of starting my own business. And funny, but I decided to open like an e-commerce store that sells underwear for women. I don't know why I did it. Back then it sounded like a super good idea, because I was like, yeah, women are engaged shoppers, so I'm gonna make a lot of money. So I spent like pretty much all my money I had to build an e-commerce website, and I was like importing products from AliExpress, and I was building the website, and it turned out beautiful, right? But I had no job at the time, so I invested all the money I had into this e-commerce, and it was time for me to run the Facebook ads. I had no idea about marketing. This happened maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna run the ads to the e-commerce store and I'm gonna make it, and all my money issues and financial issue will disappear, because I'll make it big time with my e-commerce store. I remember like setting up the Facebook ads, and I started like sending the traffic, and those were like the last money I had in my bank account. So I really needed to make the e-commerce work, right? So I'm setting the ads, and the first day I got 0 sales, the second day I got 0 sales, and on the third day I got 0 sales as well. And I was super disappointed by my whole entrepreneurial experiment, if I could say it this way. I had no money left in the bank. I felt like a failure because I ditched my law degree to pursue an e-commerce on women underwear. So I remember I went to this park that I was going for a walk, and I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm like completely hopeless. I got this gut feeling that I'm a complete failure. I'm afraid to tell my friends, I'm afraid to tell my family, because I don't know how they'll react, and I'm just like, and I don't know what to do. I'm in my very early 20s, right? Very early 20s. So I'm about to face life, and I got this message from a friend of mine, and he's like, hey man, here is this like Facebook ad job. And I was like, that sounds interesting. I had nothing else to do. I had no money in the bank, so pretty much I was dirt broke, sitting on a bench in the park. And to me, it sounded like a super good idea to get a job in Facebook ads, so I could learn Facebook ads, because at the time I really believed that Facebook ads was the one thing that will help me get ahead in life, that will help me get ahead in my career, that will help me get ahead in business. So I decided to bet it all on Facebook ads. I applied for the job, I got the job, and my very first few weeks I sucked at the job. I wasn't happy with the results I was getting with my Facebook ads. It was a time where I really had to make it work. It was kind of like one of those gun to the head situations where either my ads converted work, or either I just quit and I don't know what to do with my life. As a guy in his early 20s, there was like this pressure on my shoulders, so I really had to make this job work. So I remember I was waking up 5 a.m. before work, and I'd start watching like courses on Udemy. I'd start reading marketing books, and I spent like 2 or 3 hours before me even getting to work, so I could learn as much as possible. And after work I'd stay an hour or a few hours longer. I really had this like intense experience of like me learning marketing and me learning advertising, right? And during these months I gathered like a lot of information, and the one thing that helped me understand ads was the framework that I'm gonna share later. But I found this framework after a lot of like trial and error, and during the years I still believe this is something that is like fundamental to my success as advertiser on Facebook and other platforms. And before I go into the tactics, I just want you to understand the strategy, and here I'm going to go into the strategy of this video. In order to make your Facebook ads work, the first thing that you need to know is your offer matters a lot. And by offer I mean your product, your service that you're selling, and how you position it in front of the right audience. The success of your campaign will depend on your offer, and this success might go up to like 50 to 60%. And the rest of your success would be if you're able to position this offer in front of the right audience at the right time. And so I'd say 50 to 60% of your Facebook ad campaign will depend on the fact if you have irresistible offer. And as the Godfather says, you need to make your audience an offer they cannot refuse.
I'm gonna make them an offer they can't refuse.
Having irresistible offer is something that people truly want to buy. So if you're advertising a product that is like completely out of the blue that nobody heard of, you need to spend a lot of time in your marketing persuasion, because people are just, I don't know, they don't know about the product. And I'm gonna give you an example. For example, if you wanna sell, let's say, soap, everybody knows what is soap and how it's used, right? Your marketing persuasion doesn't need to be that strong. But if you're selling an online course on like $5,000, or if you're selling any online course, you need to explain what does it do, how it works, how will people get it, and it just makes the marketing campaign a lot more complicated. So whenever you craft your offer, your product and service is kind of like strongly connected to it. Based on your offer, you just target the right audience, and based on your offer, you set your, let's say, marketing messages on Facebook, Google, YouTube, and you're able to attract customers. And this is the first part of your strategy, and that will be having irresistible offer. The second part would be like targeting the right market, because if you have the irresistible offer and if you don't target the right market, you're just like going to like a train station and you're just like yelling and nobody cares, right? Nobody cares about you. But if you go to the right place, let's say you're selling to mothers, and if you go to a kindergarten, at the very morning all the mothers are just like bringing their kids to the kindergarten, and you start like yelling about your products, all moms are just gonna like turn around and they'll be like, oh my god, I want this. So this is like the power of positioning your offer at the right market. The third part, I think it's also super important, would be to troubleshoot your ads the best way, because I see that in many cases people have a very good offer, they are managed to find the right targeting, but when it comes to like day-to-day management of Facebook ads, they completely fail, because Facebook ads, in my opinion, are quite easy. But if you're somebody who is new to Facebook ads, they might be very technical, and there is also a lot of psychological elements that come to like Facebook ads, because you need to like spend money on ads. Whenever money are involved, people just get confused, because people in general are bad with money. So in this video, I'm just gonna give you the framework to troubleshoot your Facebook ads, because I assume that you have a good offer, and I assume that you're targeting the right market. Okay? And here we're going into the framework, the day-to-day framework. And here you just need to apply those things every day and just like apply them to each campaign and see what works and what doesn't. And here are the tactics. So let's say you set up your campaigns, right? And the most important thing that you need to be aware of is the cost per conversion. If the cost per conversion is okay, you just don't care about the rest of the stuff. This is the most important, and I see a lot of people that are making the mistakes to take a look at the clicks, the impressions, the reach, the click-through rates. But if your cost per conversion is great, if you're getting a good amount of conversions, then you just need to keep on running the ad. But this is the best case scenario, and in my experience this rarely happens. So we're gonna start with the first problem that you're gonna face, and this will be your ad doesn't get any impressions. If your ad doesn't get any impressions, that means three things. Number one, the audience that you're trying to target is too small. Number two, the budget that you're setting on these campaigns is way too small. And the third reason might be that your bidding is way too conservative. So if you're not getting any impressions, if you're not getting any reach, make sure to increase the budget, make sure to increase the audience, and make sure to increase the bidding. And this will be how to solve the problem if your ads are not getting any impressions. The second problem that you might get is that your ad is not getting any clicks, right? And this is a rare problem, but your click-through rate might be very, very low. So if you're not getting a good amount of clicks, that means number one, you're not targeting the right audience, or number two, your ad is not good enough. And by that I mean your copy is weak, or your image or your video is not compelling enough. So here, in order to solve the clicks or the click-through rate issue, you need to, number one, target the right audience, number two, create a better ad, and this will solve the clicks-through rate. And number three, and this is like the most complicated, because in many cases you'll be getting the impressions, you'll be getting the clicks, but your ads won't be converting. This is a huge topic, how to get more conversions. And the number one issue that people have, they're not getting enough conversions because their offer is not strong enough. So you need to go back to your marketing, you need to go back to your landing pages and make your offer more compelling. And here, to make the offer more compelling, you might need to niche down, or you might need to target a better market. For example, if you're selling soap on your website, and if this soap is for everybody, you're just gonna target everybody, and you're gonna waste a lot of money because you don't know who's gonna convert. But if you target only, let's say, women who are pregnant, and if you find an angle in your product that helps, let's say, mothers or future mothers have better skin using your soap, it's gonna be a much stronger marketing message, and your offer will be much more compelling. Also, if your ads don't convert, in many cases, people need more time to buy, right? If you're selling like a super low ticket offer, like, I don't know, something under like $50 or $100, people might get it right away. They might buy it right away. But if your product is like at a higher price, if it's like an online course that costs like 500 to 1,000 or even like 5,000, you need to have a longer sales cycle, because you can buy like an energy drink right away, right? You just go to the store and buy it because you need an energy drink. But if you want to buy something that is like more expensive, let's say a camera, you're gonna go on the internet and you're gonna research, right? So you need to think about through what phases your customer is going through so they buy your product, because in many cases it's not like a super quick decision. In many cases, if it's like a more expensive product, you're gonna go on Google, you're gonna research, you're gonna check for reviews, you're gonna check for testimonials, you're gonna check for, like, let's say if it's a camera, for unboxing videos. If it's an online course, you're just gonna go and search for like people who already used this course. You're gonna go on Reddit and just like read on Reddit. So whenever people buy, they're gonna go through this journey. So you need to think about it, how to get them through this journey quicker so they're able to buy. But this is just the game. What I'm seeing is people used to buy like quicker, and there is statistic for that. I think it takes up to like 7 to 12 interactions with your brand so people could buy. And if you're running cold traffic ads, it's gonna be super hard to make them convert because you need to serve those 12 interactions and you need to help the customers go through the journey of buying. And this journey of buying is like building trust. So in order to increase your conversions, you could also think about how you can build your trust with your customers, right? Because people buy things from brands they trust and like. And this is something I got from Dan Kennedy. It is not my idea, so this is going to be super specific for you. Also, if you're not getting enough conversions, make sure you set up retargeting campaigns on Facebook. And something else you could do, you can email your list more frequently, and that way you prepare the people to buy. When it comes to like fixing a bad offer, there is a lot you can do. So you need to be creative because right now the marketplace is kind of like not oversaturated, but it's somehow competitive. So if there is a lot of money to be made in a niche, there are like a lot of smart people in that niche. So you need to get very creative. If you have any questions about troubleshooting your Facebook ads, make sure you leave a comment below. If you want me to personally help you solve your future offers or solve your issues with Facebook ads, feel free to contact me either on Instagram, either on my website. This is up to you, and we could set up a 30-minute consultation call that will be completely for free because I'm just starting out this channel, so I just want to provide value to the marketplace. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this video. This is what all the fancy YouTubers say at the end of their videos, and I'm gonna say it as well because I'm a content creator YouTuber right now. And yeah, thank you for watching.